Hey there, diamonds in the making. This is Sunny Rogers here, Emerald Ambassador with Plexus. And I wanted to share with you today something that's pretty close to my heart, and I think something that has been very, very important in my business and the success of my business thus far. And that's emotional intelligence. As a social worker, this speaks right to my heart. It's not a tangible takeaway, but it's something that weaves through our entire business and through our entire lives. Because when we are forced to make relationships and create relationships and put ourselves in that vulnerable position, we are faced with so many emotions every single day, and that brings up a lot of stuff. So having good intelligence about our own emotions can really set us up for success or failure if we're not aware of them. So I'm taking some of this from a success article I saw quite heavily from what I've taken from Daniel Goleman in Harvard Business Review's top 10 articles on leadership. Their first article is about emotional intelligence, and I don't think that's a mistake. It's because they know that high emotional intelligence is sometimes higher on the scale, actually usually higher on the scale for leadership than actual IQ. Because you can be super smart but not know how to deal with people, and that can get you into trouble. So I want to share some of the I've come up with like 9-ish things that I kind of weave into what we do as network marketers. So I'm going to try to do this pretty quickly. Number one, anger is a secondary emotion. That means it comes after some initial emotion that we have: fear, anxiety, frustration, jealousy, which could be a big one. Then anger comes in. We need to know ourselves and really increase our vocabulary so that we can pinpoint where these emotions are coming from that are causing anger in our lives, so that we can deal with them appropriately. You know, because sometimes once you realize, oh man, I was just angry at that person because I am really jealous that they promoted this month and I didn't. That takes some courage to be able to admit that to yourself. So that you can admit that that's something that's wrong with you and not necessarily wrong with the person who's your sideline or someone you're working with. Number two, set good boundaries with people. Emotionally intelligent people know how to say no sometimes. That means no to an obligation that you really want to do, but you know you don't have the time to do. Also, setting good boundaries with people may mean cutting out those negative people in your life and being able to use the delete button that Victor Antonio taught us about. We need to be able to set good boundaries with people and with ourselves and with our teams so that we don't find ourselves resenting them. You know, I can do a whole lot of things kind of well, or I can make myself set boundaries and do a few things really, really well. If you spread yourself too thin, you'll find yourself resenting people. If you find yourself working the back office for people and finding answers for your team all the time instead of letting them find them for themselves, you're going to limit them to the amount that you're able to grow, which is not very far once you start growing your team. You are going to limit your team to a small amount of growth unless you learn to let go and set boundaries for yourself and what you're going to do and let them grow and move forward. So that's number two in my mind. Set good boundaries with people. Number three, put yourself in other people's shoes. To be very emotionally intelligent, we need to understand and really empathize with where people are coming from. You know, when you've got someone, you're talking to them about Plexus, and they're sitting there like, oh, bless your heart, you've gotten yourself wrapped up in one of those Plexus things, which is the look, or one of those network marketing scheme things, which my strong level 1 gave me that exact same look. And because I was in tune with her, what she was showing me, like I could see her reaction to what I was saying, that she wasn't hearing it yet. If I had just vomited Plexus all over her in that moment, instead of being emotionally aware of what she was going through, I probably would have lost her for good. But a few more contacts and a few more follow-ups, she was ready to hear it. And it was her time, not mine, that really made it work for her. So I was empathizing with where she was coming from. Also, on that same token, emotionally intelligent people we're really curious about what makes people tick. We want to really understand why that hater is really hating on us. And usually emotionally intelligent people can come to find that it's usually not something about us at all. It's usually about something with them, some sort of fear, anxiety, some sort of emotion that they haven't been able to deal with. But it's our job to not make them come up with the same ideas as us, but rather for us to just be right there where they're at and get into their shoes and understand where they're coming from so that we can keep the conversation going without burning a bridge. Okay, moving right on along. Number 4, be coachable and ready to roll with the punches, the changes, and the challenges. Emotionally intelligent people are okay with hearing that we have a weakness. We're okay with hearing that there's something that we need to do differently. We're okay with hearing that there's this big change coming because we realize that change and frustrations and difficult stuff is just a part of this whole business. We are going to be bombarded with changes and frustrations and angry people and difficulties all the time. If you're expecting things to be perfect, you're not going to do well in this business. It's going to be rough. So emotionally intelligent people just realize that's coming and they are ready for it when the challenge arises. We know that we can handle it and we know that we're going to get around it. We've just got to find the right way. Number 5, I kind of already talked about this, to be flexible. Realizing that not everyone's going to be on the same schedule as you, not everyone thinks the same way that you do, and not everyone has the same personality style as you. If you haven't read the MLM or Big Al's 4 color personalities of MLM, read that. It's really, really helpful in understanding your teammates, yourself, and the people that you're recruiting for this Plexus journey. Again, being emotionally intelligent to where they're coming from. Number 6, emotionally intelligent people are just really grateful for where we are at. Realizing that this is all a part of the journey. We can't have the good without the bad, and we're just grateful for where we're at. But we are striving to be moving forward. So always be grateful. Always keep that on the forefront of your mind. Don't get caught in excuse mode or in anxiety mode of this is not where I'm supposed to be. You are right where you need to be. So keep that in mind. Be grateful for where you are. Number 7, don't seek perfection. You will fail if you try to be perfect all the time. Don't focus on those failures either. Just learn from them. Learn that failure is a part of this business, period. Don't let those be on the forefront of your mind and keep you from moving forward, but rather look at them as something to learn from. Like, oh, well, I was in the arena and I dared greatly and I failed. And that is the only way to success, is if I'm in the arena daring greatly and making mistakes. And on that same token, like, don't be upset if someone comes to you. Well, I guess this is what I'm trying to say, is be coachable. So if your upline comes to you and they say, if there was something that I knew about you that I thought maybe was holding you back in your business, would you want to know? Say yes. Say yes. Be okay with constructive criticism. Emotionally intelligent people are striving for the right thing for them to do. So if someone's coming to you and they love you enough to do that, listen to them. That is wonderful that they care about you enough to give you that criticism. Emotionally intelligent people just realize that it's them trying to help you, not something to be negative or to discourage you at all. So seeking perfection is just going to set you up for frustration. Number 8, stop negative self-talk in its tracks. Emotionally intelligent people know that self-talk, our brains are constantly rolling with thoughts all day long. Like, you can't avoid that. You can't shut it down. If you try not to think about the elephant in the room, you're always going to think about the elephant, right? So stop those negative self-talk that I'm not good enough, oh, I'm probably going to fail at this. Realize when you're saying that to yourself and stop it right there and replace that with a positive affirmation about yourself. Write those positive affirmations down. I am a good leader. people do want to hear what I have to say. I am going to succeed at this. I will make the rank that I want to make. I am going to sit in the jewels section at convention someday. Write those affirmations down and read them every single day. I am a good mom. I am a good daughter. I am a good girlfriend. Write those down and soak those in. Stop that negative self-talk in its tracks, or you will spiral down and find yourself on the couch binging on Netflix and not doing what you're supposed to be doing because you're listening to everything your brain is trying to tell you. Emotionally intelligent people go, ha! Thank you, voice. Thank you for speaking that negative stuff to me. Now you can go back to where you belong. As Beth Moore says once, like, for us women in the group, sometimes those are hormonal thoughts. And so you tell that hormonal thought to ride out on the hormonal horse that you rode in on. Just see ya, because it's not true. I got off on a tangent. Okay, number 9. Focus on the joy of the journey. You are right where you need to be right now. Don't think that you are supposed to be. Don't should on yourself. Are you shoulding on yourself, people? You're not. You shouldn't be somewhere else. You shouldn't be doing something else. You shouldn't be this rank and you're not. You are right where you need to be. Embrace where you are. Take the next hard step to do what it is you know that you need to do. Just do it. Odds are it's something that's going to take you 5 minutes, but you've been dreading it for all this time. Just go do that thing you know you need to do for your business. Be aware of what's going on in your head. Don't let negativity take you over. Be grateful for what you're doing and realize that you are in the right place at the right time with an excellent opportunity. You will not find another opportunity like this, period. There's no other compensation plan like ours, period. The products work. You're in the right place at the right time with excellent leadership. I've seen other teams. I've seen other team pages. I just need you guys to hear me say that we have excellent leadership and you are so lucky. So don't take that for granted. And you guys have a great day. And I hope this tip was helpful to you.